Hey bottom pushers, my name is Nick and welcome back to the life and suffering of Sir Brante, and today marks the first day in our return to priesthood. We're starting all over again from childhood, and I know what I need to do, I think. I need to focus on theology and eloquence, which means perception, spirituality and determination. I also want to join the Willists at some point, so I know what I need to do in terms of Inquisition power when we get to that stage, but the important thing is I need to have not died twice, which is fine. So we're going to start again. I'm going to build up pretty much a lot of what we built up on the last playthrough, except this time I'm not going to die. In theory, anyway. Theology is more important this playthrough, because to do what I want to do on one of the other subsequent playthroughs, I need theology to be maxed out at 20. So it's not going to be this one, that'll probably be the next one that I have to do that. But getting a strong foundation of it now is going to save me a lot of hassle later on. Okay, so we'll kick this off with reaching out to the palm at birth. And with hide and seek, I want to find my way home. So I'm going to do, again, similar to what I did before, kind of an even spread between perception and determination. No, that's not what I want to do at all. I should have just done perception. Nah. Although, I need to stop second-guessing myself with this. I've done this enough times now that I should be able to stop second-guessing myself constantly. Perception. So we'll finish the song properly. So I think the 3 times I need to be careful are Grandfather. I need him to not kill me. I need to not rescue Sophia. And I need to not let Gregor burn the house down. I'm pretty sure they're the 3 times I can die up until this point. Well, up until youth. With the lot of suffering, I'm going to deny my guilt and get up some determination, which before bit me in the arse because of Unity, but I don't need to worry about Unity this time, thankfully, because that was a pain in the arse. Gloria's rhymes, I'm going to offer to write rhymes with her, just to get my perception up a little bit more. With the newborn's cry, I think I'm going to call Father for help. No, I'm going to redirect Mother's anger towards me, so save her ragdolling baby Nathan. Just anger me, mummy. That was weird. Toy soldiers, I'm gonna tell Father the truth that I did in fact push the noble shithound because he was being a noble shithound and he got shoved for his troubles. Am I sorry? No. Yeah, with Father's sword this time, I think I'm just going to agree with Father that I don't need to be taught fencing because, I mean, I don't need to be taught fencing. That's not something that's going to benefit me this time round, and I get the willpower out of it. I'll get a little bit of determination if I do, but I lose 10 willpower, which I don't really want. I'd rather have the willpower at this stage. Not that I think I need it for anything coming up, but it's good to have. I've learned that lesson the hard way. Just because you don't need it right now doesn't mean it's not going to come back to bite you in the arse later on. With Gregor Brante now in our life once more, and he's thrown my tin soldiers in the fire, I'm going to rescue them and get my determination up, determination is now higher than perception, which is not the way I wanted that to be, but okay. An illustrious guest, I'm going to walk away with Mother when our guest of honour arrives, and they can just have their fun with fake Mother. I'm going to go spend time with real Mother. In the name of getting perception, I'm going to upset Mother. I'm going to insist on playing by myself with the ant farm that she got me, because I get Insight Destiny and Perception. I feel bad about it, but she got me a cool toy, and I'm like, what, 5? I'm 6. So I don't share, I'm 6. Now this is a perfect example of what I was saying about willpower. I didn't need the willpower back then, but now I have it. I can take the kaleidoscope apart, which gains me some sweet, sexy perception. I don't know why I felt the need to call perception sexy, but I did. Sweet temptation, I'm just going to tell the truth and take the beating alongside Gloria, because, again, perception. I will sacrifice my body for perception. And my first sacrament, I am just going to accept it, which knocks down my determination a little bit, but gets me perception. Which is fine, because I need perception more than determination. Yeah, we'll go with that. It'll be fine. I feel like it's not a bad start. Could be better. I could have more perception and more determination, but it's okay. The boy down the street. So our first introduction is Thomas with his brother beating up my brother. I am going to try and resolve the matter peacefully, which just pisses Thomas off. We get in a fight anyway, and then become best friends. Yay! Go team Niklaus and Thomas. Niklomas. Tom Louse. With Stefan's arrival, where he's forced Gloria to be the servant for the evening, I'm going to join her in her plight because the other two don't help me with what I need, so I'll take the willpower, please and thank you. And with a dropped handkerchief, I'm just going to keep the handkerchief as a memento because, again, nothing else benefits me really in any way, so I will again take the willpower. The night before my exams at school, I am going to study theology because spirituality, that'll make Mama real proud. And with Diedrich, the school bully, I am going to admonish the nobleman's sins because they are being treacherous and they are being wrong, and I'm going to tell on them if they don't stop. So basically I tell them, they're hang on a sec, you guys aren't nobles. Why are you acting like nobles? You might become nobles in the future, but for now, no, you're just like the rest of us. And they go, oh yeah, forgot about that. Or something like that. First decision I need to make that's playing the long game. We're at the Silver Tree, and there's a red-haired pilgrim that's come up and is talking to us about the new faith, and there's Jen, who works in the temple, and she wants to kind of talk to us about the old faith because it's all she knows, it's what she loves. She's very, very zealous towards the old faith. So before, I have stayed with the red-haired pilgrim because that got my spirituality up, but knocks me down with Jen, which is a problem because one of the things I want to do in a separate playthrough is to convince Jen to join the new faith. To do that, I have to be new faith, which pisses her off, but also +2 with her, which is going to be really hard to get. So the more points I can get with Jen now, the better. So I can follow the girl into the temple, which knocks down my willpower a little bit, but I go +1 with Jen, but I don't get any spirituality. Or I can give into the Epiphany, where I get +1 spirituality, I get acquainted with Jen, and I get the revelation of the tree, which I don't think I've ever had before. So I think we're going to do this. Even though it doesn't give me plus with Jen, it doesn't get me minus with Jen either, which I think is important. I lied, I just checked the achievements, I have had this one before, I think I do remember that. But yeah, we're gonna do this one anyway. So I'll get the spirituality, I'll get the revelation of the tree, and me and Jen are acquainted. And I just need to make sure that in youth I do whatever I can to boost our relationship so it's in a good position. This playthrough in peacetime isn't going to be a problem because I'm going to be leaning towards old faith more, so it'll be okay. But I need to be aware of that in the future. So with Nathan's fear of the twins hating him, we're going to dispel his fears. Sweet little Nathan, so that'll boost our spirituality a little bit and give him some little happy joy feelings inside. Because no, the twins don't hate him. They can be a bit harsh sometimes, but they love him. As much as benevolent entities can love tiny, insignificant little creatures. The nobleman's lot. So me and Stefan have gone to look for Gloria, and she's found herself in a world of trouble, so I'm going to call the guards, which boosts my ingenuity. Nothing really impacts me positively in any way, so I'll just call the guards and be done with it. And with the trial of the assailants, I'm going to convince Father to change his mind about mentioning Gloria, because it's going to put our reputation down to 1. But that's fine, because spirituality. Agony. So Grandfather's deathbed where he tries to burn Mother alive. I'm going to run away and rescue Nathan and Gloria, so I'm basically going to leave Mum to die, but I'll save my brother and sister, so, that's something. Plus, spirituality. Well, guess I'm giving the dagger back in the last respects then. More willpower for me. And with the fugitive girl, I'm just going to hide alone again. I can either do that or bring Sophia back to Rotten. That just feels like I'm being a dick for the sake of being a dick, so I'll just hide alone. Which is, cowardly as opposed to evil. And on my last night before heading off to Eterna for my youth, I'm going to spend time with Mama, which is going to put my spirituality up to a nice 9. Okay, so spirituality is in a very, very good position. Okay, so diplomacy is a 9. Manipulation is a 10. Theology is a 17. Valor 5. Scheming 6. Eloquence 13. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay, theology's good. I need to boost that to a 20, but that doesn't need to be done right now. I don't even need that on this playthrough, so that's fine. I think we're doing okay. So my first night in the city, I'm going to visit the Great Temple of the Twins, so that'll boost my theology and eloquence, which is good. Got 20 willpower as well, which is not too shabby. With Luke's sermon, I will listen to Inquisitor Jeremiah's counsel, because he's just spitting facts. I can't dispute that. and I want the theology. Nice, and to completely round off my theology and max that bad boy out in the city that never sleeps, we are going to go to the Markian Society, which I look at as kind of flushing all the sin out of my system before I give in to the church completely. That's how I'm going to justify it to my gods. The girl from your past, so Sophia wants help with Dextra, I will help her. I will get him out of the city because scheming valor and +1 on Sophia. Why not? Time to preach my revelation and join the church. Well, I say join the church, get arrested by the church, and then eventually join the church. Ooh, bonds of friendship. I'm going to try something this time because I've never done it, and I am kind of curious about what happens when I do. So I am going to end the friendship with Thomas. So you're not the children you used to be. This is where you must part ways. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens, if anything, at this point. Oh, I got an achievement though. That was unexpected, but thank you. You do not take the ring. The smile on Thomas's face fades. You sigh heavily and tell him what you think. The two of you no longer walk the same path. Why make false promises if you're going to belong to different worlds and estates? No rings will ever change that. Thomas sighs heavily too. He puts the rings back in his pockets. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Fair enough then. Guess our friendship's a thing of the past. So, we're going our separate ways after all. Well, take care, Brante. Who knows? Maybe we'll meet again someday. He offers you a hand to shake before he leaves. You wish each other luck and part ways. Thomas leaves and the door closes behind him. You are finally alone in your room. It's time to pack your things. Your new home awaits. Okay. Well, he handled that with maturity and grace, so well done. Now, my sermons have started at the church, and every year they have a guest speaker come along, and this time was Patriarch Luke, who was telling us all about the new faith, which is obviously not good in the eyes of the church, so I need shield of the old faith at the moment, so I'm going to reject the doubt and strengthen my belief. So, new faith is the worst. I mean, theology is already maxed out, but getting more manipulation isn't a bad thing. It'd be interesting to see how long you can kind of fly along the middle ground for it and like not pick a side between old and new. The Black Book. So me and Jen have gone to the, I guess, Faith Museum. I can't remember what it's called, but we're still having a nice day together. And all of a sudden she tells us about Alice, who's her friend, who just so happens to be a witch. And obviously we know Alice from multiple different playthroughs. We have to help Jen decide how she's going to handle the fact that she's friends with a witch. So we can tell no one about her, which ups my scheming and makes Jen steadfast in faith. Inform the Inquisition, which makes Jen zealous. Or guide your friend to the right path, which makes her wavering. I might just stick with tell no one about Alice, which we've done before. So it means Alice gets to live. And our scheming goes up a little bit, so why not? Matters of faith. I need to decide what I'm going to do in terms of like the cliques that are forming. I can either join the Preachers, which is where Jen is, which does nothing for my theology, but does increase my relation with Jen. Search for the divine within myself, which gives me willpower, or infiltrate the secret society, which is the Markian Society. So that's interesting to remember. I'd forgotten about that. So I need to remember that's a thing because we're going to come back and do that at some point. So join the Preachers. We're going to do that and become more friendly with Jen. A criminal relationship. So there has been a priest trainee, a priest in training, and they've been getting down and dirty with a witch, and they've been caught, and both of them are now on trial. So everything's getting a little bit heated, and there's damn near a brawl broken out within the courtroom. So I'm just going to flee with Jen because, again, reputation with Jen. Nothing else is going to improve in a way that I need it to. Valor doesn't really matter. Theology is maxed. And that obviously goes down with Jen. Demand punishment is eloquence, which is maybe not a bad thing, but we're going to flee the courtroom because willpower and Jen. So I have graduated from church. Do you graduate from church? I'm not sure. But either way, I'm a priest now, and I'm performing my first ever sacrament. So I have given the sword for the noble child to kiss, and now I'm whipping a common child. And after whipping the first child, his younger brother comes along, and this little boy is not having a fun time. He doesn't want to be there, weirdly. So I'm going to strike him with all of my might, because, again, Jen relation. I need her to be a fan of me. Actually, thinking about it, that doesn't matter at the moment, because I'm going to need to get the shield of the new faith for that playthrough anyway, so I'm going to have to redo this further down the line, regardless. Oh well, having her like me isn't a bad thing, if only for my own ego. We are moving into peacetime. Yeah. So the destiny that we're going for this playthrough is Shadow of the Will. So I follow Ulrich on the path of the will until the very end. So I need Inquisition power to be 10, and Father Ulrich needs to be my master, and I need to have died twice or less. Which is fine. We're already kind of in good stead for that, so hopefully I don't screw up along the way. Spiritual guidance. So me and Jen are on our way back to Adolescence, and she tells us all about how our mission and how we are there to strengthen the Inquisition and stomp out the heretical New Faith for good. So I will support her in this endeavour, because Old Faith for the win. Little does she know I'm secretly a Willist. I mean, it's so secretive, I don't even know that yet. The Sacred Conclave. Our first official job upon returning to Anazot is to go to the Sacred Conclave, where Patriarch Cassius is being sworn in as the official Patriarch for the next allotted timescale. As that was all coming to a head, Father Ulrich busts in and he announces that they're there officially, and there is a crowd gathering outside. They want to know what's going on, so we go and address them. I'm going to accuse them of forgetting the lot, forgetting the twins, and being just awfully heretical, which is just shameful behaviour. Also, obviously, a big reason that we're here, which I completely forgot to mention before, is because Patriarch Cassius is a scumbag, and we're here to overthrow him, basically, or stop him from being elected Patriarch again when the time comes. But that's irrelevant, because it's all about the Willist lifestyle now, baby. With the reception at the Brante residence, I'm just going to purchase a family portrait, because we can take the hit on wealth and reputation could do with a little boost, so why not? And with a rock and a hard place, I'm going to appeal to Nathan in the dispute between Stefan and Gloria, because it just works out well for me. Theology, again, doesn't matter, but it's never a bad thing having more unity, is it? Plus, it's nice for Nathan to be useful every once in a while. With a gift for the family from Archduke Melanidas, I literally can only sell the jewels, so I guess I'll be selling the jewels. It's +2 wealth, -1 unity. It's okay, could be worse. Our introduction to the Lotari Society in the priestly world. So we know a lot about the Lotari Society at this point. I am going to preach to them. So we've gone to investigate, we've taken the place of one of their members. As the ritual is about to begin, Octavia Melanidas has already cut one of her wrists. She's about to cut the other one to kill herself and be reborn as ex-Octavia, as we know her to become. I'm going to preach to them, because that gets my Inquisition power up, my tolerance of faith down, which is okay. Wealth and reputation go up, and Archduke Melanidas is grateful. So essentially what happens is, because being a priest, I'm allowed to use magic, because it's fine. So I pull out one of the magic tablets, heal Octavia, and go, "No, you heathenous people, stop what you're doing immediately." And they go, "Oh, okay." It's that simple. It's not bad to have friends in high places. Ooh, and because I severed my friendship with Thomas, now he's back, I don't have to take a hit in reputation. Not that that actually matters. I can just walk away, which I'm going to do. You and Thomas parted ways long ago. His fate is no longer linked to yours. Which kind of feels like I'm just being a prick for the sake of it. But I don't have a comeback to that. I just kind of am being a prick for the sake of it. We'll call it curiosity. You shake your head. You have no time to reminisce about your childhood. Your lives have long since changed, and now your fates are no longer linked. You are each following your own path. Thomas nods with a sigh. His voice loses the boyish ring it had, becoming heavy and deep. "Oh, you were right back then, in Eterna. Still, I'm happy that our paths have crossed again, if only by chance. Take care, Brante." Thomas stays by the ruins of the fort, a lonely figure lost in thoughts unknown to you. You walk away without a backwards glance. Oh, Thomas! In the shadow of the tree, we've gone to a sermon that was being given by Father Lennart, who is the head honcho of the New Faith, and we have a chat with him afterwards. He wants our help in kind of raising the profile of the New Faith and offering more support to them, as opposed to leaning towards the Old Faith. So I'm going to point out the flaws of the New Faith, which ups my eloquence, and obviously theology can't go any higher, but that's fine. Eloquence is still good. The will and the law. So this is our first taste of just how brutal Father Ulrich can be. We knew he was a bit of a psychopath, but this is like a whole new level. We've had a prisoner come in who was accused of defacing he had in possession with him a book, the Book of Isatius, but it had inscribings all over it where someone was questioning the word of Isatius, which is a big no-no. So we've been trying to interrogate him and find out where that came from. We weren't getting anywhere, so Father Ulrich's come along and basically broken every single one of his joints. And now he's started talking. And then as Father Ulrich left, he said, just kill him. Get it over with. And while this is the correct thing to do, because if we kill him, that's fine, he has a lesser death, he's reborn, completely healed, and he's free. If I support Zhen in not killing him and letting it go to trial, then he's going to sit in a cell for like 3 days with all of his joints broken, only to be burnt at the stake. So think I'm just going to kill him, because my relation with Zhen is already maxed out, so that's fine, that's good. And I could do with increasing with Father Ulrich, I guess. And also, for the sake of the poor bastard's broken joints, I'm going to kill him. The printed page. So, that book I was saying about with all the scribblings of the Word of Isatius, they came from a bookshop that was being run by Father Lennart. So, we've been sent to tear it to pieces, basically, so we can destroy it, which ups Inquisition power but knocks down tolerance of faith. Leave it alone, which does the opposite, or redact and censor the books, which pluses both, which is what I might do, because I don't really want to let tolerance of faith drop to a 2, because then it will trigger a bad event, and I don't want to trigger a bad event if I can help it, so we'll do this. Cost me a bit of willpower, but it's worth it. With Brothers in Misery, I'm just going to ask Father for help again, because knocks down reputation and unity, but that's okay. I can afford the hits in those. I'd rather not take the hit in Inquisition power that involving the Inquisition would have created. Here we go, the Principle of the Will. So we are going to get summoned by Father Ulrich. He's going to take us on a little trek into a cave in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the goddamn Magran Desert. And he tells us about the Willists and asks us if we want to join. Normally we would say no at this point, in which case he tries to play it off like it's a test and we've passed and well done. But we know. We know there's more to it than that, so I am going to agree. The world is driven by will. Your entire life is proof of that. You're ready to serve the will from now on. So this is going to kill me, plus 40 willpower. Good lord. That's quite tasty. You look Ulrich straight in the eye. It is indeed so. The will is the source of everything in this world. It's above the law and stronger than love. It's the true path of service to the twins, and you are ready for it. Come hither, Niklaus. You step forward, unable to resist. You're bound by his word alone. He has uttered no prayer to the twins, used no sacrificial silver. Is this truly the power of the gods? With a cold smile, Ulrich draws a dagger. He stabs you below the ribs. The cold steel slowly sinks into your flesh. Blood soaks your clothing, you fall to your knees. The sharp pain rips a scream from your lips. Ulrich lays a hand on your forehead. Fear not. Fear and hesitation are our greatest foe. The fear recedes. It's replaced by pain. With each passing second, you draw closer to death. Ulrich reaches in his satchel, takes out a collar, and fastens it around your neck. Death will not come soon. We will have plenty of time to do everything we need, and then, when you are reborn, another will shall guide you. Ulrich leans over you. He speaks softly, but his voice fills the entire cave. I have chosen you, Niklaus. Now you are my disciple. The will is within you. My will. We will purge Margaret of heretics and renegades. Then we will purge the entire empire. Our will shall bind the people of this empire. Our will shall bestow a lot upon them. A lot they can neither renounce nor violate. The Inquisitor straightens up. The collar presses into your neck. You have trouble breathing. You will not be able to remove the collar. Even after you die and are reborn, it will remain in place. The burning in your stomach is insufferable now. Your vision goes dark. Ulrich's voice fades away. Your consciousness leaves you. You die. Okay, nothing to do with this spiel was any different from a normal first death. The crypt. Darkness. You feel the cold stone beneath your naked body. The hot collar is still around your neck. Invisible, intangible, impossible to forget. You're filled with an unfamiliar serenity. Whatever you might desire, whatever you might strive for, it's all within your grasp. Your path is clear. Nothing can stop you now. There's no hesitation, no fear. Only the will. So Ulrich is my master. Ulrich is your master now. He made you a Willist and gave you the sacrament of the collar. Oh, it's good. My third sacrament in life. Goody. Good lord, that's a lot of willpower. Ulrich has become your teacher. You accepted the belief of Willism and got your collar. I don't know if we've had privilege and authority before. I don't recognise it at all. The more powerful the Order becomes, the faster the tension between the Inquisitors and the civil authorities escalate. It all starts with a small incident. You receive a report that a visitor from the capital by the name of Alan L. Corvio has fought a duel with a local nobleman of the Elestae family and killed him. Which we know. We know about this from the Noble Lot, but I don't think we've ever had this in priesthood before. The story would be of no consequence for the Inquisition if not for the cause of the duel. Rumour has it that Sir Elestae accused Sir El Corvio of heresy. Inquisitor Ulrich promptly gives his orders, and the noble visitor is brought in for questioning. You and Jen attend the interrogation. Alan El Corvio is a slender, middle-aged nobleman wearing an elegant black jacket. Firmly believing that he has done the right thing, he answers all questions freely. Sir El Corvio, a matter of faith has compelled me to summon you here for a little conversation. Pray tell, what was the cause of your duel with Sir Elestae? I can see why you're concerned, Inquisitor. Elestae called me a heretic and I couldn't just let that slip. But I assure you, the arrogant fool's insult had no basis whatsoever. I am an adherent of the new faith. Patriarch Luke can confirm my words, but Elestae was an uncompromising old believer and an impetuous one at that. He dared call me a heretic, for which he had to pay with his life. A shadow of enmity clouds Jen's face. I have nothing more to tell you. I suppose we can end our conversation here. The nobleman is about to rise. Sit. I beg your pardon? I told you to sit. You will leave when I say so. What insolence! You have no reason to detain me here, no right to give me orders. I command you to release me. As long as we have doubts about your innocence, you will remain in this room. I told you everything. I don't see any point in discussing this further. After half an hour of fruitless attempts to continue the interrogation, the three of you leave the room to take counsel. He is guilty, and he is lying. I'm certain that he's not telling the whole truth. If he is a heretic, a duel would be a fine way to get rid of a man who could accuse him, but we have no proof of his guilt. We'll have to let him go. No. Retribution is inevitable. If we let even one heretic go, we will appear weak. We cannot allow him to believe that he can renounce his noble lot while still retaining the privileges granted by the nobility. He will spend the night in the dungeons. Tomorrow I will use enhanced interrogation techniques to extract the truth from him. As you leave the Inquisition ward, you meet Father by the gate. He seems agitated. We need to talk, son. Let's take a little stroll, shall we? You walk silently in the twilight for several minutes before Father starts talking. I came here to warn you, Nicolaus, that El Corvio fellow you detained. You clearly have no idea of the wrath this could bring down upon you. Alan El Corvio is a figure of immense power in the Eterna Court. He used to be the Emperor's head of security, no less. The news of his arrest by the Inquisition has already reached Magistrate El Vermin. Through him, it will reach Archduke Melanidas and Overseer Gaius Tempest. You thank Father and contemplate the situation. Tomorrow, the wrath of the nobility could be unleashed upon you. If you do not have solid proof that El Corvio is guilty, it might be wiser to let him go. But would Ulrich agree to that? So if we let him go, Inquisition power dips, willpower dips, diplomacy goes up, relation with Jen dips. Support Ulrich, church goes down, tolerance of faith goes down by 2, which I don't really want, and Inquisition power goes down by 1. And I can't fabricate evidence, so I may as well just let him go, take the 1 hit on Inquisition power, and be done with it, I guess. There's no direct evidence proving El Corvio's guilt, and torturing him will only aggravate the local nobles. Which is true. The next morning, you enter the cell in which Ulrich is selecting the tools for the upcoming interrogation. Inquisitor Nicolaus, I wasn't expecting you this early. You tell Ulrich that you spent the night conducting an investigation of your own. You question the nobles who witnessed the duel and talk to Father Lennart. Both the nobles and the clergyman confirmed El Corvio's story. An enhanced interrogation will gain you nothing. It will only turn the nobility of Anazot against the Inquisition. Ulrich pinches the bridge of his nose. Have it your way, Brother Nicolaus. I trust you. But if we release a heretic today, it will be on your head. When the disgruntled El Corvio leaves the ward, the magistrate himself, Remy El Vermin, greets him at the gate. He is a man of advanced years. His face bears the sharp, proud features so common among the old aristocracy. Good day, Sir Elcorvio. Forgive us for this dreadful misunderstanding. The Inquisition in our province is highly vigilant, and sometimes it comes at the price of a certain degree of inconvenience. I hope you will make an example of the Order and punish them for this audacity. The nobleman gets into his carriage. The magistrate takes a step towards Ulrich. You should be more careful, Ulrich. You were lucky to have released him now. If you had waited just a little longer, I would be unable to help you. There can be no more blunders of this sort. This man is free only because he was proven innocent. The Inquisition serves the twins. There can be no greater power over us. Soon the entire city knows about Elcorvio's arrest and release. In noble circles, people start suggesting that supporting the Inquisition might be dangerous. Still, if Ulrich had tortured such an influential person, the blow to your reputation could have been much more devastating. A few days later, Jeanne bursts into your room without knocking. You just let him go! What? I know everything, Nicholas. I checked. You never talked to the nobles or Lennart. You just tricked Ulrich into letting Elcorvio go. I won't turn you into Ulrich. I dread to imagine what he would do if he discovered this lie. But you should remember the law of the younger. Retribution is inevitable. You reply with silence. Jen waits a while, then lets out a disappointed sigh and closes the door behind her. Ugh. Yuck. Miracles and wonders. So we have been informed of a priest called Ariadella, who, in the middle of the Magron Desert, has a community that's flourishing in greenery. She claims she has a gift from the gods that if she prays for something to grow, it will grow. Turns out, she's actually just a witch and she doesn't realise. So we've been sent to investigate, and we discover she is in fact a witch. So I'm going to subdue her. I would like to let her go because she's a sweet girl and she doesn't mean harm to anybody, but you know, I need the Inquisition power, so I'm doing that. I'm sorry if that helps in any way. The Trail of Sorcery. So the Inquisition has been working with a secret chancellery to help track down witches in the area that might be linked to Patriarch Cassius, because he's been known to harbour witches. So Jen has kind of been gone all day and we're a little worried about her. So we go looking for her in the last place that she was known to be looking, and we don't find her, but we find a lot of blood. And in the basement, then we find her. She's been stabbed a couple of times, and there is a witch down there with her, as well as like a load of other armed people. So I'm going to chase the mage, and that gets my Inquisition power up to 10, which is good. And Jen, it goes back up to 5. I mean, she's going to die because, as I said before, she's been stabbed a lot, but still, it's only a lesser death. She'll be fine. A confession. So Jen has declared her love for me, and I have said it back, and then we did the most romantic thing possible, and we had sex in public. Once that's done, we now have this option to make. We can say it was an illusion, or we can say these feelings are real. Either way, I get +5 willpower. I may as well just say these feelings are real, because it was an illusion. It just feels like a dick thing to say. Also, I maintain the fact that 2 priests having sex in public, really bad look for the church. Sorry, 2 inquisitors, that's even worse than 2 priests. We can do something new this time. So the Patriarch's sermon, we've gone to a sermon given by Patriarch Cassius, and he, in an attempt to embarrass the Inquisition, has called us up to the front and has demanded that we agree in front of everybody that we are working with him and towards the old faith and restoring order. He wants our word in front of everyone. So this time, I'm going to accuse him, because I can do that now. So that gets my reputation up, Inquisition power up, Valor up, and knocks my willpower down a bit, but that's okay. But I can only do this because Father Ulrich is my master. Cassius is a liar and an apostate. The Order will find the truth, and all shall be revealed. Cassius thinks you're trapped, cornered, but he has underestimated the force of your will. Hundreds of eyes are trained on you, but you withstand their attention with ease. They're all without will, as is the Patriarch that leads them. You address Cassius just as Ulrich taught you. Your voice is a command. You are filled with an overwhelming confidence in your truth, devoid of all doubt. The Inquisition does not need the Patriarch's blessing, you say. The champions of faith obey the twins, and them alone. The blessed mission and goodwill of those who serve the Order are beyond all doubt. You need no law but the law of the younger, no love but the love of the elder. You will not lie, and you will not resort to half-truths. Only a weak will would stoop to such low cunning. And so you proclaim aloud, The Order of the Inquisition is investigating the Patriarch so that he may face the highest trial of the faith. Only the Sacred Tribunal may judge the accusations against Cassius. Your words ring through the square, followed by silence. So the rumours are true. The Inquisition supports the schism within the faith. Your order has come to Margaret to lay waste to the true faith in this land. Your order is working to blacken my good name among the clergy and the flock. Your order wishes to put some new believer heretic in my place so that he may poison people's hearts with his false teachings. You have all forgotten the law of the younger. For each and every crime there will be retribution. Cassius's speech is drowned out by the cries of the crowd. You hear a scream. A rock flies out of the crowd and hits a champion in the face. The warrior falls to his knees. The champions of faith draw their swords. The rock was but the first of many. A hail of cobblestones come flying all at once, aiming for the heads of your soldiers. You cannot see the faces of those who had the gall to attack the order. Cassius watches you with indifference from the temple stairs. The rocks continue to fly, one by one. They attempt to find the champions' skulls. But you have no fear. You do not shout, but your voice is heard by all. Enough! The clamour dies down. The people around you freeze. The mob parts and recoils. You don't know who had the insolence to attack you, yet. But one thing is certain. Retribution is coming. So saith the law. Silence falls. Terrified, the Patriarch looks at you, and the crowd you froze with a single word. You and your retinue leave the square. Retribution is inevitable. Cassius will pay for his heresy. Those who walk the path of will shall never submit to the will of another. I got some powerful wordage. A sinner's confession. So, a drunk has been brought in for pissing on a statue. Turns out that drunk is little Nathan. He is just a hot mess at the moment, so we sober him up, and he tells us that he's joined the Markian Society, so he's very much anti-twins. And this is potentially going to give us the evidence we need against Cassius. I mean, we don't need the evidence against Cassius, that's not what we're doing on this playthrough, but story arc-wise, that's where this is headed. So we're going to guide Nathan to the right path, because judging Nathan and finding him guilty knocks my tolerance of faith down to 2, which I don't want. So I'm going to guide Nathan down the right path, which is fine, that knocks down reputation and willpower a bit, but it's okay. And then we have recruited him to our side. He will be our little mole. The Renegade, this is a follow-on from, see, the last one. Now we have Nathan kind of sold on our way of doing things. We're going to go to Marky, an event hosted by Father Mark, and we're going to lure Mark into a trap, and everything is going to be good. Apart from our reputation, which goes down. But that's fine, because Father Mark gets arrested, we get the evidence against Cassius. All is good. The sentence. So now we have Father Mark in custody. It's not that easy, obviously. Why would it be? So he's told us everything, and Jen and Ulrich have gone out to kind of investigate what he's been saying to make sure it all is true, and I've been left in charge of guarding his cell. There is a mighty mob of angry people that have been riled up by Patriarch Cassius, who have come and they demand he be killed immediately. And I can't do that until we've investigated thoroughly. So, before I've released him from captivity, and I actually think that's all I've done before, so I can either send for Jen and Father Lennart. Okay, I actually think what I'm going to do is release Mark from captivity again, because I was thinking I could send for Jen and Father Lennart, but that knocks my... Oh, no. Send for Jen and Father Lennart is good, because that ups my tolerance of faith and Inquisition power. Yeah, it just knocks down some willpower, so yeah, we'll do this. They'll help you stop the vigilantes and make sure Mark gets a proper tribunal. Because we've never done this before, so happy days. The people Cassius brought here are demanding that Father Mark be tried. It seems that holding a tribunal is the only way to prevent the outraged crowd from attacking the Inquisition ward. You command the Champions of Faith to find Sister Jen and the other Inquisitors while the crowd is still far away. You also order them to bring Father Lennart and his congregation to the Inquisition ward as quickly as possible. These forces should be enough to restrain the Patriarch's troop until the tribunal can begin. I can see what you're planning to do, Inquisitor. I'll send for him. What about Inquisitor Ulrich? You shake your head. Your mentor has postponed this tribunal for far too long. He may forbid it altogether now. Agoronim nods in understanding and hurries up the stairs. You follow him. The first to arrive at the Inquisition ward is Father Lennart. Jen follows shortly after. For both of them, this meeting is utterly odd. Father Nicolaus, what's going on? What's he doing here? Oh, cool, your artist sister. I'm here to help. You try to avoid a quarrel. This is a moment when the entire Church of the Twin Gods must unite against a common foe, Father Mark and his heresy. Otherwise, Cassius will steer the wrath of his congregation himself, directing it first against the Inquisition and then against the new believers. Jean and Lennart contemplate each other tentatively for a while. I will help you, Brother Nicolaus. Jean agrees, albeit gloomily. Fine. What do I need to do? Time is of the essence. You ask Lennart to come to Captain Agoronium's aid. He will address the congregation and appease their rage while Jean prepares Mark's trial. Lennart leaves the building. A moment later you hear his voice resounding over the grumbling of the crowd. Cassius, my friend, why have you led these people here? And with a call to bloodshed, no less? Is this in accordance with the common lot you preach to your flock? I and the people who follow me bring the law of the twin gods. Mark the renegade must die. The Inquisition is dragging its feet and will not hold a tribunal, so it's my duty as the head of the church in this land to smite the apostate. The loyal congregation roars in support of Patriarch Cassius. Lennart responds, his soothing tone unaltered. Only the Inquisition has the right to hold trial and punish priests. The fate of this lost soul is in their hands. A few rocks fly from the crowd in Lennart's direction. Cassius's supporters are outraged by the new believer's insolence. Bajen stands by the priest's side. Stop. Trespass not against your lot. Rein in your wrath before it draws your souls to the foot of the pillar. You demand trial and punishment for the renegade? May it be known that he will be tried and punished forthwith. Jen gestures towards a stake that's being prepared for Mark. Inquisitor Nicolaus captured Mark the heretic. He will try the criminal before your very eyes. You ask everyone to offer prayers to the younger. These prayers are the beginning of each sacred tribunal. New and old believers alike kneel in prayer. Even Cassius is obliged to put his hands together in the appropriate gesture. A harmonious chorus of voices enunciating the holy words resounds over the streets. Glory be the younger, defender of the world and the shining pillar. Glory be to the law he has bestowed upon us. Glory be to the order he protects. May he bless our deeds. May he preserve us from corruption and lawlessness. May his strength abide within us. The words of the prayer appease and soothe the crowd. The surging sea of people grows calm. You're not even interrupted when the Inquisitor brings Father Mark out of the Inquisition ward. You ask Jen to deliver the speech for the prosecution. Honourable Tribunal of Faith, among the ranks of the Inquisition, diverse ideas about the true designs of the twin gods coexist. Some of us follow the teachings bequeathed by Saint Isatius, and some have adopted the teachings of Patriarch Photis. Yet we are united by a common understanding. The man who has been brought before the tribunal today is a dangerous heretic and a renegade. Isatius teaches us that we must live by our lots, by the divine laws bestowed upon us by the twin gods. But Father Mark teaches us to defy the very gods and their laws, their love and their will. But what does a person have left in a world bereft of gods? What can fill the void in his soul? Lust and debauchery? The pleasures of the table and other excesses? Carnal delights? Without the twins, our souls can no longer find peace. Photis taught his flock to find their own path to the gods. And even if I do not endorse these teachings, I can still see that they are born of a love for the twins and his flock. But of what are Mark's teachings born? What has driven this man to encourage you to denounce the twins and sacrifice your eternal souls? When I ask myself this, I can find no answer other than fear, pride, and cowardice. Father Mark is a renegade. His teachings are among the most heinous and dangerous ever created in the blessed Archnean Empire. Father Mark must be cleansed by fire. His name and his teachings must be buried in oblivion. The Inquisition and the Church of the Twin Gods must set aside their differences and feuds to purge the world of this poison. You ask if anyone wishes to defend Father Mark. All you get in response are shouts demanding a verdict. The apostate's guilt is incontestable. He's sentenced to be burned at the stake. Mark is tied to a stake surrounded by a pile of dry wood. The exhausted preacher remains silent. Only the accusatory glance he casts at Cassius betrays his feelings. You pick up a torch and hold it over the pile. Worldly justice has been done. Judgment of the gods awaits. You unclasp your hand. The flame spreads across the dry wood, crackling. The fire blazes up. Mark perseveres for a while, but when the inferno enshrouds his body, he screams in pain. His last words are carried up into the winter sky. Naught but the prison of their will awaits you. Cherish every day as long as you remain free. His cries die out. The crowd cheers. The mantle of snow covering the sand turns black from the ashes falling from the fire. Whew. Marky boy. Eesh. Oh, we have enough unity to save Mother. What a treat. You know what? I'm just going to unite the family. It makes no difference to me that the reputation will be trashed because it's not like we were going to get ennobled. So yeah, sod it. Let's unite the family. Why not? Yeah, there we go. So Gloria's a Brante and we have the Mark of Dishonour. Go team. Repentance. So with the Knight of Nathan trying to kill himself so he can get to the twins, I'm going to call Mother. As she's alive, may as well put it to good use. That ups unity, willpower, manipulation, and eloquence. So, nice. I'm going to pull a dick move at the denunciation. Think back to when me and Jen had sex in public, which I had said at the time and have said many times before was a bad idea. Turns out somebody was peeping on us, and they reported it. So we have been brought in and questioned about it. I can tell the truth, which knocks down my Inquisition power, which I don't want because that needs to be at 10, and I'm worried if it drops at this point I'm not going to get it back up again. So I'm going to deny everything. You call the accusation false and insist that someone is trying to slander you, which is going to piss off Shen a little bit. She'll still be on a 3, which is good, but yeah. Sorry, Shen. At the moment I need Inquisition power more than anything. Because peacetime is so long, and I don't want to have to restart it just because of a last-minute poor decision. A family matter, so obviously we're not going to become ennobled, so we will just preserve the family. Oh, nice, +5 willpower. I'll take it. The Reflection. So this is brand new, because Inquisition power and Father Ulrich being the Master. There are mere days left before the Sacred Conclave. Every day, as you walk the streets of Anazots, you see a reverence in the face of its residents. They bow to you, some out of respect, others out of fear. The Inquisition has never been so powerful in Margrave. Ulrich summons you to his quarters. He has an urgent mission for you. You enter his cell and see your mentor reading a letter. It bears a seal with a wheel on it, the symbol of the Secret Chancellery. The Secret Chancellery has done us a favour, my disciple. They found one of Cassius's followers, Master Newman. He is a nobleman of the mantle and a famous scholar. Master Newman. You saw this name inscribed on the book about the Latari. Interrogate him and get the names of other apostates who support the Patriarch. After the questioning, sentence him to true death. The heresy spawned by Father Mark must be obliterated completely. Taking 2 champions of faith with you, you head to the scholar's house in the heart of Anazot. People duck down side streets upon seeing you. When you knock on Newman's door, his neighbours quickly pull the shutters. The young scholar lets you in shyly. How could I be of service, Inquisitor? Does the Order need my expertise on the cultures of ancient civilizations? Instead of responding, you nod to the champions of faith. The first hour of the interrogation is entirely fruitless. The scholar stubbornly denies his guilt. He refuses to admit having any connection to Mark, Cassius, or the Latari Society. You scrutinise the young man, trying to discern his weaknesses. You see carefully brushed blonde hair, clean skin. Newman must take great care of his looks. You send for a mirror to be brought to the prison cell. Then you put the scholar in front of it and choose a suitable blade. Oh, I've heard of you, Brother Nicklaus. You serve the gods, and this service brings people suffering. But why do we need such gods? Why would we serve such gods? Why do you do it? People don't need this hideous faith, nor the cruel gods. They need a drop of humanity and mercy. You grab the scholar firmly by the hair. The sharp blade slices his flesh. Newman's nose falls to the floor. A shriek of pain echoes off the thick walls. An ear, the upper lip, an eyebrow. The young man's well-groomed face is transformed into a hideous mask. No, you will not let him slide into unconsciousness. Let him behold his new face. The names. Eventually, the pain, the realization of his helplessness and his imminent suffering breaks the heretic's will. He will name Cassius's close associates as long as you stop the torture. Newman is carried away. You're left alone with your reflection. What? No, it was just a trick of the light. You didn't actually see Ulrich in the mirror. It's just you. Your throat clenches at the thought. You hurry out of the dungeon. You have a very long day ahead of you. Master Newman's execution, arresting and questioning the people from the list. But you're not tired. There's no hesitation, no fear. Your path is clear. Nothing can stop you now. Oh, so I'm apparently very good at torture. There we go, the triumph of the will. Mere days remain before the Sacred Conclave, where Cassius's fate will be decided. After that, you and Ulrich will bring order to this cursed land. The Inquisition Ward has become the bulwark of the Church and the power you and your men will hold over the city. You have come a long way, your work is almost done. You enter Ulrich's room, but your mentor is not in his prayer cell. There's a heap of papers on his desk, letters from the Inquisition of Eterna. You catch a glimpse of a torn envelope with Jen's name on it. Letters for Jen. Why are they here? After making sure you're alone, you quickly go through the papers. You see interrogation results, copies of letters, notes from sermons. On top of the pile, you find an excerpt from the Holy Writ of the Third, forbidden volume of Isatius. These documents expose Ulrich as a servant of the Will. With these papers, any Inquisitor could build a case for the Tribunal. So, have you examined all the papers yet, Nikolaus? The Inquisitor is standing behind you. Sister Jen contacted my enemies in Eterna and asked them to send her these. As you can gather, she suspects us. This could be a threat to our cause. But she will not act until she gets the papers, so we need not worry. We have ample time to dispose of Jen. We will have to deal with Cassius afterwards, of course. Will you eliminate Jen? I command you to answer truly, disciple. The collar tightens around your neck. Ulrich's gaze is fixed on you. Oh, so this is how you get dyed by your hand. I'm pretty sure there's an achievement for that. Say either Jen died by my hand or Ulrich died by my hand. Okay, well, we're doing Willist, so we'll come back and do the dyed by your hand by killing him at another point. But for now, we're going to submit to his will. You bow your head reverently. Your mentor's will be done. Excellent, Nikolaus. Forget all your doubts. Your will is your weapon. Use it. You go to the chapel at the Inquisition Ward. You know that Jen prays there every evening in solitude. You send the champions of faith out of the ward, under the pretense of searching for another supporter of Cassius. No one will interfere with your plan. It's late evening. Door creaks. You cross the threshold. Only the radiance of the faraway pillar illuminates the chapel. Jen is on her knees before the altar. As your shadow falls on her, you hear a fragment of her prayer. O younger, guide him. Lead him away from the wrong path. Jen hears your steps and quickly stops praying. She gets up, straightens the kerchief on her head, and smiles at you. I was just thinking about you, Nikolaus. Didn't expect anyone coming here at such a late hour. Have you been looking for me? Do you want to talk? You don't respond. Silence. Jen looks at you, puzzled. Time seems to stand still. The smile disappears from Jen's face. She quickly jumps to her feet and grabs the silver slab. Jen's palms are burning with a white glow, but you won't give her a chance. On your knees. Your quiet voice fills the entire chapel. You don't scream at Jen. You don't need to. You are the will. You are strength. There are no restraints, no shackles. Jen convulses in pain, her bones cracking, muscles cramping. She falls to her knees. A desperate scream bursts from her chest. Damn you, heretic! The gods will punish you! You raise your eyes at the faces of the twins under the chapel dome. Jen is wrong. You and Master Ulrich are the true servants of the twins, and she must be silent. Unable to resist your voice, Jen stops screaming. You take the whip from your belt and approach her from behind. You wrap the leather tail around Jen's neck and start to strangle her. Jen wheezes silently, unable to call for help. You read your sentence slowly. Inquisitor Jen dared to confront you and Master Ulrich. She stood in your way, planned to destroy you. You sentence her to true death. A sudden trembling seizes your body. Do you truly have the divine power to execute anyone who resists the will? But another moment passes, and your doubts disappear without trace. Everything is as it should be. Convulsions stop. Jen goes limp and falls to the floor. Life has left her fragile body. Now no one will prevent you and your teacher from purging Margaret from the heresy of Cassius. Oh no. Achievement! Oh dear. You stand in the midst of a crowd by the Temple of the Silver Tree. Your long path ends here. Nothing can oppose the power of the Inquisition, neither the secular authorities nor the high-ranking clergy. Everyone in Mara knows your name. It's uttered with trepidation and fear. There is only one person who outshines you, Inquisitor Ulrich. He knows no mercy, makes no concessions, and never strays from his path. Today, Ulrich, the embodiment of the Inquisition, will pass judgment upon the Patriarch of the province. No one dares to interfere. Patriarch Cassius has been chained to a stake. Beaten mercilessly, in rags, almost unconscious, he is to be burned alive. He will have no chance to speak. His congregation, so adoring just a while ago, will not have the courage to defend him. They are too fearful of the almighty Inquisition. His fate has been decided. There was no need for a sacred tribunal, no need for a lengthy hearing and carefully collected evidence. These are but formalities, and by Ulrich's will, the Inquisition no longer needs them. In the middle of an enormous sea of people surrounded by inquisitors and champions of faith, Ulrich seems invincible. His unnaturally loud voice fills the square. People of Anazot, for far too long, Patriarch Cassius has poisoned us with his falsehoods. Beneath the mask of a God-fearing priest hides an apostate, a heretic, and a renegade. Today, the Inquisition will remedy the error of the clergy who allowed this heretic to become Patriarch. They will be punished for their mistake. The Sacred Conclave will no longer have the right to elect the Patriarch. Henceforth, this shall be the sole right of the Inquisition. Silence. All you hear is Abbot Lennart's lone cry. Cannot do this! The Patriarch must be elected by his flock. He must earn the trust of those who will follow him. Ulrich grins. This land is soaked in lies and filth, Abbot Lennart. The heretic you see behind me was chosen by the clergy of Margra. If your priests proved blind enough not to discern his heresy, how could mere laymen unmask such an apostate? No, this is the Inquisition burden, to cleanse the cursed land of Margra of all heresy, and so it is my burden too. I must lead this holy campaign. Ulrich raises a torch above his head. You will bow before my will as you bow before theirs. You will obey my law as you obey theirs. You will accept my love as you accept theirs. Ulrich's words echo repeatedly, resounding throughout the square. He throws the torch onto the fire. It's instantly ablaze. The crowd freezes. In his last moments, Cassius screams with all his might. Do not tolerate the will of another over you. Fight! There is no mercy in the prison of the twins, only cruelty. The deposed Patriarch's body writhes in the flames. The entire crowd seems to turn to stone, paralysed by the sight of his demise. Their faces are masks of terror. Ulrich steps forward and raises a collar above his head. You, the sinful flock of a wayward Patriarch, shall kneel and accept your new sacrament. Not that of the sword or the lash, but of the collar. For I give unto you a new lot, the lot of service to my will. You will no longer have the freedom to violate it. From now on, no other will exists for you but mine. I shall become for you both love and law. I shall lead you up the narrow, yet straight path to the very peak of the shining pillar. For you, I am both the elder and the younger made of flesh. A peal of thunder echoes his words. The sky darkens. The earth quakes beneath your feet. Unable to keep their balance, the people fall to the ground, shrieking and crushing one another. Blasts of air blow in their faces. The wind howls furiously in the branches of the silver tree. You hear the sound of a measured tread. One step, another, another. My will is the only... Ulrich chokes on his own words, as if an invisible knot has tightened around his throat. He claws at his neck, scratching it until it bleeds. Then he falls to his knees. My will. The pyre behind him rises up in a whirlwind of flame and comes crashing down upon the Inquisitor. Overcome by reverent awe, the people drop to their knees. But the flames do not subside. They surge at you, but you face the divine wrath without fear. Unbearable heat, then a scream. Your body turns to ash. Am I dead? Did I just die? Oh man, that was unexpected. The judgment of the twins. The pain relents, finally dissolving in a blinding light. You're taken higher and higher still, to the narrow strip that is the shining pillar. This is where you belong now. You are so tiny compared to this all-absorbing radiance. Yet you remain yourself, even now. But for how long? 2 dots glow brilliantly before you, gradually growing larger and more distinct. You're taken towards them, faster and faster. Inevitably, mercilessly. the creators reach out to you. The first figure is soft, wise, and merciful. The love that emanates from it envelops you from head to toe. It radiates an endless warmth. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is stern but just, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection, and merciless punishment for every misdeed. In their presence, you are but a pale shade, your will to live slowly fading away. The hour of judgment has come. Your soul is laid bare for the twin gods to read like a book, and with each line they read, you feel their indignation grow. They disapprove of the way you serve them. But why? The twin gods respond, too often did you reject their love, violate their law, and abuse their will. An old nursery rhyme appears in your mind. Your sister used to sing it to you so long ago. When the twins came down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand, guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil, always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born, to the day when you pass on. Know your lots and know the prayer. The sword of the younger rises aloft. The immense blade descends upon your pitiful mortal soul. Will you submit to the verdict? So stand against the twins, oh my god, or humbly accept my punishment. I guess, why not? Why not stand against the twins? The lots of lies told everywhere. This is it, Ulrich's greatest mistake. He came so close to the summit of power, yet he still thought that serving the twins was his lot. You will not make the same mistake. You will submit to no one, not even the gods. You are power incarnate. There are no limits, there are no chains. Love and law are merely the spawn of the will of whoever is strongest. The sword strikes. The younger's blade slices through your soul, but leaves no mark. Your unbending will to live is stronger still. You rise until you rival the twins in size, an ever-growing shadow beside the gods. You see a tiny cradle behind them. There's a baby inside. The little creature is bawling, and when it sees you, it smiles its first smile, so awkward, yet so genuine. As you meet the infant's gaze, you bring a finger to your lips. That was me! It was me as a baby! Oh, achievement! I didn't even know I was going to get an achievement. What's that even for? Resist the will of the gods. Ah, okay, I knew that was an achievement, but I didn't know this is how you got it. Happy days. That was not expected. That was not expected at all. I knew this was going to be a different approach, but I was not expecting to basically make myself a god. Kind of. I've outwilled the gods and looped back around in a big circle to myself as a baby. That's very, very, very cool. Very cool. Very evil, and I died in a horrible, horrible fire, but still very, very cool. So yeah, we need to go through and do this again, but kill Ulrich this time. That won't take long. I'll just jump straight to that point and we'll see what happens when we kill him. But yeah, very, very, very cool. So that's another one ticked off the list. We got a good few achievements out of this, so tasty. Yeah, 80% of the achievements done now, so only another 17 left to go. We're making good progress. We are making good progress. So, if you want to check this out for yourself, then the link to the game page is in the description. If there's anything in particular you want to see, or you think I might have missed, then let me know. Leave me a comment. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then why don't you go ahead and hit the like button. The newborn god baby that is the subscribe button. Make sure you that bad boy. And until next time, love you, bye.